Don't know the power.
The math is unfunnable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get to the chopper!
Price go up.
Gigantic fusion reactor that just worked.
Multiple income streams and real yield.
Ooh, yeah!
Jeeps can no longer dump on your heads. The revolutionary decentralized finance protocol. Fusion reaction in T-minus 3, 2, 1.
Fusion! You don't know the power.
The math is unfunnable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
The mothership.
And what's it gonna do?
Everybody excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
Give my creation. Fusion.
Get ready to rumble.
Fusion.
Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP Money. This is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. We cover all the projects in the EMP mothership. We have ever-growing protocols now to cover, and all of that goes to support Fusion, and that will be the big topic of today. Lots of momentum. Markets are looking good. We'll get into all of that in a minute, but before we do, let me introduce my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
I'm good. Happy to be here with all of you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, 100% LA. Again, we have a lot to go over, a lot in the HVM ecosystem as well, but remember that we are breaking that into its own AMA on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Honor vs. Madness, our brand new game. But today will be a lot about Fusion and a lot of the other things that we get that we have going as well. But all right, again, one more thing before we get started is please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps the algorithm. We have a new format now as well where we are streaming to YouTube, X, and no longer Telegram, but make sure you're in Telegram to get the most up-to-date information in the pinned messages. And we will be able to take your questions live as well. So if you're on Twitter or X and YouTube, please feel free to comment as we go, and we'll do a Q&A at the end. So, all right. Well, without further ado, LA, the markets have been on fire. Again, ETH waking up, PEG waking up, all around the same time, which looks really good on the chart. We have a nice set of green candles over the last few days in terms of EMP and ETH. And yeah, I mean, we're still not even close to the last all-time high on ETH. Again, Bitcoin usually leads the way, then ETH follows, and then we see a massive, what we call alt season, where all of those profits flow into altcoins. But I'm excited, especially with this momentum we've seen moving into the beginning of the year. I know LA, you've never really experienced the full on bull run. Oh, LA's gone. LA's never really experienced the full on bull run, so I'd love to hear her input when she gets back. Um, but yeah, we're looking really really healthy. All right, give me 1 second while I add LA back in. Oh, there she is. LA, can you hear us?
I can. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I all of a sudden couldn't hear anymore, so I had to refresh.
All right, yeah, no worries. So I just was saying, you have never really experienced a bull run, but the recent momentum, I'm sure, gets you pumped up as well, huh?
I get very excited. When I first got into DeFi, I only had about a month of some good action before everything started going down. So
Totally.
it's very exciting times ahead and currently.
Yeah, no doubt. So I think we'll see this continue. Again, there's always, some choppy movement, especially when we do hit all-time highs again. There's usually a bit of a sell-off, but over the next few months, going into 2025, there are so many catalysts that, again, will give us a confirmed bull run. And, I do think it's very likely that we see, $100,000 Bitcoin. I know that's a psychological number. Maybe we hit just below that. But even if we get just below that, that means probably at least a six to $8,000 ETH, maybe even a $10,000 ETH, and alts going bananas as well, and EMP well over $1, maybe even more. So again, all of that is looking really, really good and sets us up for the future. So, all right, Ella, anything you want to add about the overall market conditions or anything we've been doing over the last few days since our last AMA?
Oh man, it seems like between every AMA, there is so much being accomplished behind the scenes. We've been busy bees, so um, that's kind of what makes us the happiest and the most excited about the progress we're making. So that's a good position to be in. But the next 10 days or so are going to be even more exciting because of everything we have going on with our TGE and some of the things that we're going to bring up regarding EMP tonight. There's just so much going on that really is, I don't know another word to say, but super exciting.
Yeah, no, 100%. We run out of adjectives just because we have so much in the pipeline and what is coming. And again, we said all along, the next few months are really where we see the fruits of our year-long building in the bear start to come to fruition. So, all right, and Stinky Beans says, let's fucking go. So, all right, let's go. So let's start with EMP. Again, some great momentum. We've seen Peg looking well, recovering nicely along with ETH. Again, remember, even if there's zero buying or selling pressure on EMP, if ETH is going up, that automatically makes the price of EMP go up. So you have full exposure to Ethereum. And, with the little bit of pump in ETH, we now are over $1 million again in liquidity, which again is insane uh, for considering the history of our token and how down we are in terms of peg. That's a massive amount of liquidity. So the really catalyst for all that is that we've just been having a lot more EMP being sacrificed every week, and we're creating major momentum with all of you, the community, because we can build as much as we can and put all the effort into, again, putting the puzzle pieces on the board. But if nobody puts them together or supports the protocol, then there's not much more we can do, outside of treasury management and everything we have in place. But the whole point is we get to where we want to be a lot faster with the community support, and that has absolutely been happening a lot more lately, which we love to see. And the results are real. So with that, peg has been heading upwards. The amount stacked per week has been going up, and we're really looking good. All of this really spearheaded by a brand new analytics tool that we'll talk about in a minute here. But LA, these community challenges that have been created are pretty fantastic. So anything you want to add to that?
It's just so amazing to see people stepping up to the plate and really helping to spark some joy in the community and really encourage everyone to work together. And the last 2 weeks have been pure evidence that when we all work together, we get to where we want to go a lot quicker. And with everyone in the community's support, it's really showing on the charts in the challenges being met or almost met. And now what we're going to talk about tonight is even another element to it that makes it, even more even more exciting.
Yes, totally. That's the word of the night.
Apparently that's my favorite word because I'm
Yeah.
always feeling excited.
Totally. Yeah, no, but I agree. I mean, there's so many great metrics. LA, why don't you go ahead and start going into the amount sacrificed while I pull up the actual analytics here, and then we'll talk about a really cool new initiative that we as a team have started to initiate as well. Just because, again, all of you really have been putting in the effort, so we want to incentivize you all even more. I think once people see, they're going to get super bullish. So, yeah, go ahead, LA. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, so we've had 138,000 EMP sacrificed in the last week, 400,000 in the last month, and 1.7 million in the last 3 months. So we are doing the damn thing. We're working so well as a community. We were just shy of our goal for this past week. We had a goal of 165,000 EMP. We came just shy of it, but I have a feeling we're going to hit it this week with what we've got going on. Also, we've already had over 13%. We're already over 13% of the way to our moon challenge, which is when our mega supply shock is due to kick in. And that percentage reached in only a week is insane. It has been upticking at a very steady pace. And I think that it'll surprise everyone how quickly we can get there if we just continue working so well together as a community. So, yeah.
100% LA. Again, the metrics don't lie. And again, shout out to John, who created this analytics page, giving Dune a run for its money, and completely community driven. So again, he stepped up out of nowhere and delivered. So please feel free to actually thank him or contribute to his donation address at the bottom of this. But we're getting John more and more involved with even more bullish statistics for everybody. And yeah, I mean, again, the numbers don't lie. And to be, 336,000 more EMP, that's at today's prices, that's, over almost 40 grand worth of EMP being sacrificed. And the more that is locked up, again, just to recap, the more that's locked up in Fusion and that is sacrificed, the less potential selling pressure there ever is on EMP. And so EMP is truly hyper deflationary at this point, and that will be really powerful when we get to what we call supply shock, where there is more demand for the amount of EMP that's available, and that again automatically makes the price go crazy. So really exciting times. Couple that with the real bull market coming, ETH recovering, and that bonus, SAC bonus. If you see on the bottom right here, the bonus sacrifice amount is still super low. So it's less than what it was even. Right, LA? Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and did we want to show that other page? With the peg bonus still being over 6x, it is just still such a good time to take advantage of these competitions and challenges that we're hosting, because ETH is, it's warming up. it's getting ready to run the race. It looks like it, at least in my eyes. It's getting ready to really uptick. And so while
For
we still have
sure.
the 6x peg bonus, while ETH is still below 3,000, while you can now win prizes every week for sacrificing, I mean, there just couldn't be a better time to build your position within Fusion, get your ownership position at a good place, get your SAC points and your microgrid value at a good place, because our values within Fusion are going to be growing as we get closer to peg and as ETH goes on the rise.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry about that, LA. I know it's hard for me to share the screen and look at the notes at the same time, so I had to rely on you to kind of guide me here. But yeah, we do want to
The
cover the leaderboard, right? Yes,
yeah, the
100%.
leaderboard and the Top Guns tab. Yes, here we go.
Awesome. Yeah. So this is the bullish announcement. If you're on Telegram, you probably saw this pinned already, but we'll have a lot more info coming out over the next few days. But this is the latest addition to the community challenge, where there is 12,000 EMP up for grabs over the next week for both the top sacrifice and top gainer. So LA, do you want to go into a little bit more? We can pull up the terms and conditions. Go ahead.
Yes, so there are two categories of the competition. One is the largest sack of the week. So whoever completes the largest sack of the week wins this. There's the top 3 prizes of that category. And then the second is the largest gainer. So this is proportionate to your wallet size and has nothing to do with having the biggest bag. It's whoever sack points grow by the largest percentage throughout the week wins this category. And there's also 3 winners for this. So top prize is 3,000, second place is 2,000, and third place is 1,000 EMP. And that's for each of the top categories. So of the 2 categories. So we are giving away 12,000 EMP per week for at least the next several weeks while we reach this mega moon goal that we have and get back into this insane, get to this insane mega supply shock. I cannot talk. I apologize.
I love it. No,
Stumbling on
it's
all
so
my
bullish.
words. I'm too excited.
Yeah, totally. 100%. So we broke it down into these 2 categories because we didn't want it to be a whales game either. So the top sacrifice, again, that may be more considered a whales competition. The more that you're able to sacrifice, obviously, that gives you an advantage there. But the top gainers is really, really cool in my opinion, because it gives a really great opportunity for minnows as well. Because again, if you only had sacked 1,000 EMP and you're able to sack another 1,000 EMP, that would be 100% gain. So again, it's very fair to everybody. And as you can see, everything is tracked in real time, and we'll be able to distribute the prizes. That was another thing people ask, the rollover. So Monday to Sunday is our weekly rollover. So, and I did want to pull this up really quick. Do you want to talk a little bit about the terms and conditions, just so people are aware?
Yes. So any EMP that's won cannot be sold, traded, or transferred. If you're found to do any of these actions, you will be immediately banned from ever entering again. The EMP1 can be sacrificed into Fusion to grow your position. And I'll say this quietly, but if you're strategic, to help you win the following week. There are a few things that are baked in to make things really fair. The same wallet cannot win more than 3 consecutive weeks without them being prevented from winning during a 2-week cooldown period. You must have a minimum of 5,000 SAC points in your wallet in order to qualify. And you don't need to do anything to enter. There's no signups required or anything like that, just sacrificing your EMP into Fusion.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, really, it's pretty straightforward. Again, the whole idea is that you use the EMP that you win from this to build your position even more. And again, I mean, a 6x from here on today's value is, almost $2,000 that you're winning, if you get first place. So super bullish again. And this is all EMP that's already been accounted for. And yeah, I mean, we're super excited. We're not minting more EMP for this giveaway. This is just about, again, really getting the momentum to kick off. And please feel free to share this with other communities as well. We'll do a whole push on our side, but this is a great way to get new people involved because of that juicy prize pool. So maybe
Hmm.
newcomers that aren't into EMP, but are degens. Maybe they just want to win that sacrifice money or the prize money. Then they can compete as well. So right, Ellie?
Yes, and a couple things I wanted to point out. We did have a question on Twitter earlier about like how you claim your prize. You don't have to do anything to claim your prize. Once a week, we'll be sending out prizes to the top winners, and we already have your wallet addresses there, so it's not very difficult to find you. Um, we'll make an announcement every Monday on the AMAs about who won, and by then you will have received your prizes. I also wanted to point out that if you notice on the right-hand column, the top gainer is not the person who made the largest sacrifice. And that is because it is proportionate to the size of your wallet and how much of an increase in your overall position was made by the sacrifice you made. So you'll see that that person is not the largest depositor of the week. They're not the same person. And so I wanted to point that out because I don't want anyone with small to medium sized wallets to get discouraged, because you can still win that category by just having a larger increase in your overall ownership of the position with the deposit that you make.
Yeah, absolutely, Ella. Great point. And again, we are requiring that 5,000 minimum, but like I said earlier, that if you did like a 20, say you had 2,500 TAC points right now, if you did another 2,500 TAC points, you would then have 100% gain because you're doubling your position, and you would then have 5,000 TAC points to qualify to win. So yeah, this is really, really bullish for little minnows and dolphins, and keeps it really fair to everybody by breaking it up into two categories. So
Mhm.
yeah, I
And
love it
Grover has a great point. It's harder for whale wallets to increase their microgrid position percentage
for
because
sure.
they already have so much. So they have to make huge deposits to win the top gainer if they wanted to win that category.
Yep, absolutely. Great point, Grover, for sure. So yeah, and shout out to Grover. I know John has been getting a lot of the shine, but Grover and John are like the dream team. They've been working together hand in hand on implementing all of these ideas, while the other devs are cooking with literally everything else we have going. So again, shout out to both of them. They've been absolute rock stars when it comes to this, for sure.
Yes, huge shout out to both John and Grover for working hard on this stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Anything else with this, LA? Again, I apologize. I gotta figure out a better way. I need a second monitor or something to keep track of our notes and to share what we have going on at the same time. So
Only that there's some amazing momentum already going with the competition. Things are already starting to heat up. Some gainers have built up their positions by up to 14% already. So let's just keep this amazing momentum going. And it's incredible to not only see the community working together and having fun, but also to be able to pay it forward and reward those of you who are supporting the protocol. So that
for sure.
makes us very happy. And it for a long time, it's been us kind of leading the charge, which with encouraging everyone to kind of do things that are both good for themselves and the protocol, but to have the community rallying together and creating new things in order to get more community participation. It's amazing to have that happening.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%, LA. And the proof is in the pudding. Again, one more thing while I have my screen up, I can share this. Hang on one second. All right, so this is the EMP chart, and we're following a really, really aggressive trend line. Again, I'm not a big TA guy, but with the price of EMP going up, or well, the price of ETH going up, dragging the price of EMP with it, and the more sacrificing, we're definitely in an upward trend right now. And to this day, we have never broken the long-term trend line from Fusion launch. So all of those things are really bullish, and as the market heats up, we should definitely see that recovery continue. Again, we've said all along that this is not an overnight peg recovery. This is something that takes time, but the math itself behind all of this is unfuddable, and we have built it this way on purpose so that we can fully recover in a very healthy way, a very slow and methodical way, because then we're able to actually maintain peg as well. Because it's one thing to shoot up. Again, we saw this happen right here. Even with Fusion, we had a little bit too much momentum, and obviously that wasn't able to sustain. Some swing traders took profit, and we came back down. But the slow, methodical up and to the right, like you see with this major trend line, is really where we want to be. And again, it's inevitable that it happens as long as we keep getting more and more EMP sacrificed. So, all right, awesome. LA, that is it for the screen share. Anything else before we go back to StreamYard?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, give me 1 second here. All right. All right, perfect. And shout out to DeFi Guide, Brandon. Hey, man. Thanks for joining us. We have a lot of fellow emperors and empresses in the house. All right, let me go ahead and pull up the rest of the notes. LA, what is next on the agenda?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Let's see. I just also wanted to remind everyone that eShare is also one of the best deals we've ever seen. So stocking up could potentially be an excellent option as well. Obviously, this is not financial advice. But once we're back to peg, we'll really be focusing on improving the eShare health as well. And this community teamwork is creating major momentum with helping us achieve the first big goal of getting back to peg so that we can continue to focus on the different elements that will get Fusion to the place that we've all been envisioning this whole time. And so I just wanted to kind of throw that out there as well, that it could potentially be a good time to stock up on eShare also.
Yeah, 100% LA. I know we've been saying that for a while now. I mean, in my mind, anything under $15 eShare is an absolute bargain. We've been really hovering around this level. I mean, the local lows, are still around the 6 to 10 range. And, we did see another exit about 2 days ago, which brought us below 10. But the whole idea, again, behind what LA is saying, and the reason that we do mention it on almost every AMA is because the supply of eShare is so low that if you are interested in just slowly accumulating eShare, now is the time to do it. And again, there has been some things that we've implemented on purpose where we don't want to have a large liquidity on eShare, at least to begin with, because we don't want to provide the exit liquidity. However, as we start recovering peg, we're able to strategically add the liquidity back to eShare. Then again, the flywheel starts on eShare as well. So, we talk about an EMP flywheel, and everything is hand in hand, but there is also an eShare flywheel, and that really starts happening when the rewards for Fusion are scaled up. Because remember, once pig is healthy and we're able to really bolster the APR in Fusion, that means that we have to buy or under the hood more eShare, every day to then give those rewards. So again, it does go hand in hand, and those that are able to accumulate eShare, over the long term will end up having, the biggest benefit, whether they're selling or whether they're just utilizing that eShare in the ecosystem. Because remember, you're getting an even bigger bonus on your M energy, your marketplace energy, when you're able to buy eShare at low prices. So this is again on the surface it sounds really complicated, but in reality it's just the age-old game of buying when there's fear and when the price is low, and then capitalizing on those gains when the whole ecosystem recovers. So again, none of that is financial advice, and eShare could go down further, but we have so many things in place to help eShare, and there's a lot of bullish eShare statistics on the Fusion Watch page as well. So yeah, just when Grover brought up another good point. So he says also buying eShare at the moment helps bring its price up, which increases the energy APR due to eShare price increase. So yeah, that's a great point, Grover. So remember, your daily APR in Fusion, even as it is, it operates very much like a farm where the reward token, or in this case, energy slash eShare, that determines the APR. So even if it's the same amount of emissions, if the eShare price is higher, then you're getting a higher dollar value on the APR, which again determines APR. So really good point, Grover. And yeah, I mean, again, even if you've been here for a while, maybe you have some eShare, maybe you don't. If you don't, it's always a good idea just to have some eShare for the long term hodl, for when things really do start popping off. So, and again, with the low supply of eShare, we could see an incredible dollar value one day on eShare, just because there isn't that much in circulation or total anymore, and we're continuing to buy and burn eShare as well. So I know TitanX has been getting a lot of shine lately with their deflationary mechanisms and buy and burn mechanisms. Literally everything we have been doing with EMP and eShare is doing all that as well, just without a daily auction. So if you're bullish on TitanX, you should be bullish on the buy and burn with eShare and EMP for sure. So
Yes, and
and
Neil
yeah,
has a good point that the halving is happening very soon also.
yeah, 100%, Neil. So again, like we mentioned, or Neil mentioned here, the eShare is technically inflationary. However, it's been deflationary since Fusion, because we've been burning more than it's been emitted in that time. But to Neil's point, yes, just like Bitcoin, the amount of emissions of eShare will be cut in half in February. So that will absolutely guarantee that eShare is now deflationary, even with the current volume we're doing. So yeah, that's another really good point. And typically, when a halving occurs, you do see a dramatic price increase, because there's less eShare that will ever be available. So simple supply and demand at play. So yeah, great point. So all right, awesome. LA, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think that's it.
Cool. All right, awesome. We're getting towards the end here, but I think that all of you are seeing the writing on the wall in terms of peg recovery, the health of EMP, everything that we're doing, everything that we're building. Again, we'll talk a little bit about HVM, but we also have been making headway with our new DexSwap. LA, we talked a lot about that on the last AMA. So if you missed it, please listen. But socials are growing with that as well, right?
They are. The only one I haven't been able to get switched over yet is Twitter. long time to review the changed username. So it's just going to take a little bit until that gets switched over. But yeah, our socials have been looking great on both Discord and Telegram for DexSwap.
Awesome. Yeah, and that will continue to grow. We'll have an update on that shortly as well on, migrating our liquidity of EMP and eShare over to DexSwap, which again is super bullish because PancakeSwap will not be getting the fees. We as a protocol will be getting the fees, and it's better for users because you'll have a lot easier time with price impact and potential predatory bots that we aren't able to control now. But once we're on our own DEX, we can easily control. So really exciting stuff. And yeah, again, some more input from Grover. Yeah, gDEX has been having a good run as well. So again, with that announcement coming, gDEX, which is essentially the EMP of the DexFinance ecosystem, has been looking really good. And yeah, I mean, again, just another token in our repertoire. You should have all three: gDEX, EMP, and eShare for the incoming bull run, as well as our other tokens. But a lot of you are already in Spark and Cedo. So
Not to forget about GrimGold.
and yeah, that's a great segue, right, LA? So they can't buy it yet unless they were in the pre-sale. But yeah, they you should definitely be preparing for the TGE to get some GrimGold. So you want to go into that a little bit, LA? I know you
Yes.
released an amazing article today as well.
Yeah, today we put out a brand new Medium article about the tokenomics behind GrimGold. It's super bullish. So if you happen to miss last week's AMA where we went over the tokenomics, here is your written version. We have gotten some questions in the group about why we don't post AMA notes post HVM AMA, and that's because everything we're covering in the AMAs is turned into Medium articles as well, and you have it in written form right there. And so last week we spoke in Medium and on the AMA about all the different pieces as to why GrimGold stands to not only mirror what some of these other really successful game tokens have done, but potentially surpass them in appreciation. And this week we spoke all about the tokenomics and all the intricate details behind the staking and the fact that you can not only earn additional GG tokens, but also we have this incredible carnival where you can get carnival tickets and win all kinds of rare NFTs and legendary cards and all kinds of potentially very valuable things. And so it's a must read. And we do have another HVM AMA coming up on Thursday night at 8:30. We're not going to go too much into HVM stuff tonight, but one thing I did want to say is for the TGE, which is happening on October 30th, if you have to onboard funds, now is the time to start doing it. I always warn people ahead of time, and there's always people at the beginning who didn't start soon enough. And then sure enough, Coinbase or even sometimes Spritz can take 3, 4, 5, 7 days if you're on some of these centralized exchanges like crypto.com or Coinbase. So now's the time to start preparing if you're onboarding funds, even if you're not, just to start getting your ducks in a row and figuring out where you're going to be on the 30th. Our next article that's coming out on Medium will actually be an entire article to prepare you for TGE and kind of give you all the tips for what you can do to prepare ahead of time. But that's kind of just a first little tidbit there about onboarding funds, because people complain all the time about how long it takes to get the funds into their wallets.
Yeah, absolutely. Great points, LA. Again, just one of the many reasons why those of you that are watching the AMA get all the, juicy alpha. And yeah, that's a great point. You got to start onboarding now. Remember, TGE is also on ETH mainnet. So whether it's Coinbase or Binance or whatever you're using, make sure you're getting ETH on ETH mainnet, not on BSC as well. So, and speaking of engagement, and all the listeners getting the alpha, upwards of 90 viewers again on the stream. I know last week was a little light, but the week before that we had all-time viewership. So again, shout out to all of you that are listening. This new format is working really well for us on YouTube, streaming on YouTube and on X. And please share the recordings as well. But yeah, all right, awesome, LA. That really wraps up all the major topics of today. But I'm happy to go into some questions. I don't know
Mhm.
if you have any that are from Discord, but if you are
Do.
listening to the AMA, whether it's on Twitter or again, I always call it Twitter, but whether you're on X or YouTube, you can just type your question in the live chats or in the chat itself, and it will pop up right on stream, and we will address it here. So go ahead, Ellie.
Yeah, and on Twitter, please remember to like and retweet the stream. On YouTube, please make sure to like and comment on the stream. And on both platforms, if you haven't followed us yet, make sure to do so. All right, so we have a few questions on Discord. This is the first one. I've been thinking it would be cool if there were some more supported farms on Pulse Chain. So this question is about the vaults, by the way. Especially
Okay.
with Spark inflation going away, which I think is awesome, but I still like farming. Would love to simply simplify my PDRIP farming positions and PLS.farm. It's got PLS in the name. Feels like it needs love. I see ETH is not supported actually, but sad face. But with all the hype on TitanX, adding the TitanX farms on the ETH side would be amazing for the small guys that don't really like ETH gas fees. It would also, I think that's enough of that. You get the
Yeah,
point.
no, I love it. No, that's a really great question. So shout out to whoever this is. And yeah, I mean, so there's a lot to unpack there, but the underlying comments are super powerful. So yes, number one, we are always looking to add farms that are supported in the vault system. So again, just to kind of recap, uh, through DexFinance, we have some incredible auto compounding vaults that are essentially a mix between Beefy and Balancer, and we're able to outperform those protocols and manually doing it yourself by up to 10%, which again is just insane. But yeah, we're always looking to add more exposure. So what happens is we have to actually create the vaults on the back end, even though anybody can create their own vault with the take profit percentages. We actually have to implement them in the background to begin with. So, and the reason that is because in order to have a vault, you have to have a farm that actually has rewards. So again, I'm familiar with Pulse Farm or Cow Tip. I mean, that's like a reward token. So yeah, I mean, those are the ones that we could implement, and we absolutely will have that on the roadmap. It's just been a matter of highest priority items. Um, but expanding the vaults on Pulse Chain is definitely a priority. We do support all the Pulse X vaults. So again, if you're farming on Pulse X and not utilizing our vaults, you're just leaving money on the table. So anybody again getting ink rewards or anything like that, you can just transfer the LP to the DexFinance vaults, and that will automatically manage it too. So, and we have a ton of awesome developments coming out in regards to the DexFinance vaults. I mentioned it a few times, but one of them is called the AILM, or automatic intelligent liquidity manager. And this is something that no other protocol has. There are some other ALMs in the space, but nobody has the algorithm that we do. And it essentially is able to predict the most valuable range to set your LP providing and get the most fees possible from that. So once we do a full rebrand, well, it's not a rebrand. It's will still be the same vaults, but we have to update the UI to be able to show the AILM. And so we're finishing that now. There'll be a new UI for all of that, and then we'll be able to really hit the ground running with more content and advertising. And then after that, we're able to add more and more farms to the protocol. So the short answer is yes. I love it. We will be adding more. It's just we have a lot going on at the moment, and that is part of the next step. In terms of ETH, again, the reason we don't support ETH, and you even said it in your message, is the gas fees. So even with the vault system, which essentially groups all of the LP providers together to dramatically reduce gas fees, it's still really expensive for us to run that in the background. So it'd be amazing to have auto vaults for TitanX, but as of right now, that's not something we can implement. When we see gas prices come down, or I know there's a ton of promise with and TitanX specifically building on other chains, then we can absolutely implement those. But and once we have our own DEX on ETH, that might be something that we can again facilitate because we're able to control our own gas fees a little bit easier. So yeah, really good question. That was awesome.
Awesome. And then there's just one more. Hey team, any chance of limiting successful peg exchange wallets to 1 per week? I'm still trying to claim my first one, even using John's fantastic program.
Yeah, so again, we are still making strides every day to make it more and more fair. Um, I think we've done a great job in the short term with the new alert system with John, blacklisting the bots or potential people doing it without using the proper strategy. And, with John's help and this analytic tool, we're able to detect even more bad actors outside of what we already implemented. So that's really helpful. So my short answer is I feel your pain, and we're doing everything we can to make it more and more fair. But at least for right now, it is still a bit of the luck of the draw, so to speak. So yeah, do you want to add to that, Ellie? Go ahead.
Yeah, John has been fantastic and actually created some new tools for us that we can use in the back end that is even better at detecting who's following the continuous gain strategy and who's simply claiming ETH. And so we actually put forth or are in the process of putting forth another 10 or so blacklistings. And so the people that have been using it a lot, the people who have been using it the most, that are the highest on those lists, they've been sacrificing the ETH into EMP. And so, well, they've been swapping the ETH for EMP and then sacrificing the EMP. And so, as much as it sucks that some people haven't been able to use it yet, we are hoping, like AJ said, with everything that we're implementing, getting even stricter on anyone who's not following it properly. With John's alarm system, we're hoping that this will help. But at the same time, the people that have been successful in using it a lot are following the systems, and it's really good for the protocol. And so we want to be careful not to change too much because it's helping. So we're going to keep paying attention, keep playing around if we have to, and we'll keep you guys updated on that. But generally, there's been a lot less people saying that they haven't had a chance to use it since the announcement of the new site. So that has obviously helped people.
Yeah, really good points, LA. Again, and that's why it may seem slow that we're implementing these changes, but like to LA's point, we don't want to affect the momentum negatively by changing too much or making it, available for everybody if that maybe, opens the door for potential leakage from the bad actors. So again, we appreciate all of you that are trying to have bought the battery and are trying to use it. It will get better and better over time. And remember, that also plays into peg recovery and eShare. As we're able to scale back to peg and eShare prices are looking better, then we can put even more ETH and into that exchange, and therefore, give more and more people the opportunity to use it. So it will get better. Just hang in there, and yeah, we're always looking for ways. And again, we love feedback. If any of you, I know Grover and John and the beta testers are always coming up with great ideas, but if any of you have a suggestion on how to make it better, we're always happy to listen. So awesome. All right, I don't know
Yes.
if you have any more on Discord, LA, but we're getting some great comments coming through. So please feel free to type in the chat and we'll talk about it. But yeah, Grover says vaults and farms for Dex vaults can be notified on the DexFi Discord, and the DexFi team will look into adding it. So yeah, that's a great point for that previous question. If you do have a particular farm in mind that you would like to have added, you can always open up a ticket in the DexFi Discord, and the team will look into it. We're also looking into adding, and again, this is some alpha. I don't even know if I should say this, so Jake, forgive me. But if you have Dex, gDEX, that will come with some benefits down the road, in in terms of being able to add, or at least get priority in adding new farms. So again, just one more reason to have some gDEX as well. But all right, awesome. Let me go back through and see what else we have here. Hang on. Yeah, this is a great point by Yvonne. So yeah, I like the higher gas fees on ETH since it discourages cheating. So yeah, funny enough, and again, that's why I highlighted this one. That was a big determining factor in the HVM release. So we had originally wanted to roll out with a tax, but because of the high gas fees and our pre-sale private sale people didn't only got a 10% discount to begin with, we felt like that was a much better plan to avoid vesting. And yeah, it's very true. I mean, those that buy on ETH usually have a little bit more patience because they're not trying to sell for a $10 profit when the gas fees are $30. So completely agree. All right, awesome. Let me see what else we have. Grover says basically, if you're using the peg battery for exit or ETH and to drain, you'll be found out. Yep, 100%. The best exit strategy is the marketplace, and we'll be monitoring. So yeah, that is again, eventually when the ecosystem is fully recovered and healthy, we will be able to open that restriction up a little bit for those that want to realize their dashboard money, so to speak. But to Grover's point, if you want to exit the ecosystem, the best way and the most efficient way is not utilizing the battery, but rather listing your sacrifice points on the marketplace. I mean, we've been buying back sacrifice points all along. I know other whales and other community members are looking for good deals on the marketplace, so nobody is ever locked in Fusion. That's another thing that still really is frustrating, is that people that don't know Fusion and they see sacrifice, they think that you're locked inside of Fusion, and you're never locked in Fusion at all. You can, again, there has to be a buyer on the marketplace, of course, but your capital is not, locked forever. So, yeah, okay. All right. Anything else with that, LA? While I look for more comments here.
No, I feel like we've covered most of them.
Yeah.
There was nothing else on Discord.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Brandon, it's I put the website. If you scroll up, I can post it again.
Yeah, so again, I'm behind. So yeah, it's not a Telegram bot. It's a website that will have an alarm Fusion watch. So LA, I think you posted it, but I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I posted it a couple times. So it's at the bottom of the feed now. And there's an alarm. And so if you haven't muted the alarm and you have the site up, it will sound for you every time ETH gets added into the contract.
Yeah, granted that you have the tab open and you're on your computer. The next step might be SMS messaging, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, 100%. Cool. Someone else asks, have you ever thought about combining eShare and gDEX? So yeah, I mean, even though we have officially merged, that sort of migration is a very heavy lift. So I would say as of right now, that's not in the plans, but you never know what might happen as we're always looking to consolidate tokens. I mean, obviously we would give everybody credit and fair market value, but the less tokens in the ecosystem usually ends up being better. So yeah, who knows? Maybe something in the future. Cool. All right, I think that really is it, LA. We have 100 viewers again. Shout out to all of you. Great engagement today as usual. And yeah, I don't know if anybody else has any last minute questions, but LA, is there any final thoughts or anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
Yes, you are all amazing. We love you guys so much. We love how many people have been watching this stream and participating tonight. It's amazing to see the community on fire. And so let's keep up this amazing momentum. We have a second shot at reaching our goal of 165,000 EMP sacrifice this week. Let's fucking do it.
I love it. Yes, LA for sure. I mean, we should have jumped in, and I was thinking about even sacrificing for my own bag, but the success is much sweeter when it's 100% legitimate. So yeah, I knew we fell a little bit short last week, but let's not do that this week. And yeah, get sacrificing. And there's so much EMP up for grabs now. Again, with the new contest, you can win up to 3,000 EMP for sacrificing. So not only is it a community incentive, but now it's also a financial incentive. And again, that helps all of our bags as well. So spread the word on the new contest. It's a great way to get new people involved with EMP and Fusion. And if you are a newcomer, Elliot, let's maybe talk about that really quick while I wrap it up. If somebody's brand new to Fusion, you did an amazing job with an intro series on video. How do they find that? Oh, LA, you there? I know the answer to this question, so I'll answer it.
I
Oh,
wasn't able to
oh,
get it
sh-
unmuted. I'm
oh,
sorry.
that's all right. You're good. So go ahead.
You
I
just
tried to
gotta be
tee it up
patient
for
with
you.
me for a second
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah, so you will go to the button that says EMP on the logo, and you'll go to the playlists, and we have a number of educational playlists on there, and one of them is all about Fusion.
Amazing. So there you go. We have a dedicated playlist that LA put a lot of effort into, and that does an amazing job of giving you an overview. And like I said earlier, Fusion sounds a lot more complicated than it actually is. At its core, it's just a glorified single staking contract. I mean, it's that simple. So, and the rewards are not inflationary. They're from our real yield from all of our different revenue streams. So, and those revenue streams are only continuing to grow and expand. So, all right, thank you all for being here. Like I said, that'll wrap it up. No more questions. And if we didn't get to your question or you are listening to the recording, please feel free to either type in the next live show or you can join our Discord and type in our dedicated channel for AMA questions. And we come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. LA, anything else?
Yeah, I was typing it, but I'll say it too. Thank you all for being so amazing.
I love it. Yes, without this community, we would not have nearly the success that we have had, and it's only getting started. So much love to all of you. Good night, good day. Join us on Thursday, and remember, we have the Honor vs. Madness AMA following on Thursday as well. We'll be posting the links for everybody to join this week. So, all right, see you on Thursday. Good night, everyone.